and welcome to my kitchen. Tonight I'm going to be making some baked burritos for dinner. And what do you need to make burritos? You need tortillas. So I'm going to make tortillas and I'm going to show you how I do this. So come on along and let's see how we do it. Okay, let's get started. What I have, I'm going to be using my mixer to do this today simply because I want this done quick and I don't want to mess with it. I really want bigger burritos than I have on hand right now, so this is how we're going to do it. Now, my friend Cat's Cradle makes tortillas also. She makes really awesome ones. Mine are a little bit different than hers, but they all pretty much start out the same. I have a different little amendment that I add in here. What I have here is 4 cups of all-purpose flour, and I'm going to add 1/4 cup of dry milk powder, teaspoon of salt, tablespoon of baking powder. Whoopsie. Oh, geez. All right. I'm just going to give that a bit of a whisk. Okay. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to get a butter knife out of the drawer. This is a 1/2 cup of organic shortening. You can use lard. You can use Crisco if that's what you have on hand or that's what you prefer. You're not going to want to use butter in this, that's for sure. You can use whatever you like. Now, I'm going to move over and I'm going to put this on the mixer stand. And when you do the tortillas, you're going to want 2 different attachments. You're going to need your paddle blade and you're going to need your dough hook. What we're going to do now is we're going to cut the shortening into the flour mixture. And I'm just going to put that on low and it'll break it up. It'll cut that in fairly quickly. You'll be able to tell when it's ready because it's going to look like sand or like little bitty peas. And that's just to take a minute or so. I had a big piece of shortening stuck on my paddle. I wanted to loosen it. You can't really overmix it at this point. It's when we start to add the liquid that you have to be careful how long you don't really want to knead it, you want to mix it. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the, grab that butter knife again. Now you see how some of this stuck to the paddle? It's really okay. It's all good. Don't get upset about it. Just knock it off. You're whining and the shortening. So, both of them. Take that out of there. Let's get our dough hook on here. I'm going to start it off like on a 2. I have a cup. This is 1 cup of warm water, and I'm going to start to stream it in there, but I'm not going to put it all in at once. I'm going to put in about 1/2 of it for now, and I'm going to let that flour absorb the water. You're probably going to need the whole cup, and some days you may need a little more. I'm going to stream a little bit more in there now, and goes all of it, and let the dough hook do its work. It's all going to come together in a solid ball, and then we're going to go ahead and roll out our tortillas, and we're going to cook them on our griddle. You just want to knead it with the dough hook, until all the flour in the bottom of the bowl comes together. a little bit dry to me, so I'm going to add just a little bit more water. Just a little, like that much. And then it'll start to clean the sides of the bowl, and then that flour is going to continue to absorb. So don't, you see how the side of the bowl looks kind of icky now, like smeared? It's all going to be fine. So just give it a minute, and it's going to be fine. We're done. Can you see how this bowl looks now? The sides are clean. There's no moisture in there. I'll bring it over here. I want to grab a scraper. I'll show you. It feels really good. The dough is soft and supple, but it is not sticking to my hands, okay? There is no residue. There's no, you know, it's not shaggy. It's really nice. It's soft. It feels really good, but when you press it, it bounces back a little bit. So, now my board is clean. Oh, I probably need that. Let's get rid of all this. I want my tortillas to be burrito sized. So if you divide this up into, you could, you know how I like to get particular. I'm going to divide this up and see where I'm at. I like it, that's a little small. I like them to be fairly large for burritos. Let's see. Now, this one might be just right. That one's really big. They don't have to be perfect, okay? They're tortillas, for heaven's sake. But you do want them to be somewhat even. I'm just going to roll these up into balls. When you do that, you'll be able to see better if, you know, you have uneven balls. No jokes. We're all grown-ups here, right? Except for the 12-year-olds. We're not making dinner rolls, so these don't have to be perfect. We're going to make tortillas. We're just going to roll them out flat. So they don't even have to be, you know, all the same size. There's a couple there that are bigger than others, like this one. At some point you're just getting fidgety, so, or persnickety or whatever. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a flour sack towel, I'm going to dampen it, and I'm going to cover them. And they're going to take a 10-minute rest while I clean up. Then we'll come back and roll them out. I already started, and I wanted to show you the last couple. Now you notice I had one cooking over here that is this one that I've removed from the griddle, which I have at 300 degrees. Now I'm going to flip it, I'm going to put it over there so the other side can cook. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to roll this out. And you want to make sure that you have plenty of flour down. And you're going to want to churn it. I know women that I knew in Arizona growing up who could just, they didn't need a rolling pin. They could just make these with their hands. I am an, you know, East Coast transplant girl to Arizona and was not born with the genetic trait of being able to form tortillas by hand. So the rolling pin is. And my mother never made tortillas. And I didn't make tortillas until I saw Kat's Cradle make her tortillas. So I'm making my tortillas kind of large. This is ready. We're going to move back over. I'm going to check this one. That one's done. I'm going to spray my griddle. I'm going to take my tortilla very carefully. I'm going to kind of flip it over, and then I'm going to kind of turn it until the whole thing is resting comfortably on top of the griddle. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to roll out the last one. And I kind of press it out with the heel of my hand until it's a fairly reasonable sized circle. And I turn it over and I flour it, and I do the same thing on the other side. Then I take my rolling pin, I flour that as well, and you'll see one direction. You don't roll back and forth. Go ahead and turn it. Once you get the hang of this, it goes pretty fast, and it's not going to take very long to make your tortillas. And you can make them to whatever doneness you desire. And I like my tortillas a little on the thick side. Some people like them really thin. We're using these for burritos tonight, so I like what would be called like a Cesario tortilla. I like it a little bit heavier, kind of like what you would make a gordita with. And they don't have to be perfectly round. In fact, most of the time, they're not gonna be. So just kind of roll it out as big as you can, or as thin as you like, until it's reasonably large. Okay, we're gonna come back over. You did just flip it? Okay, that's fine. I like to spray my griddle with just a tiny little bit of cooking oil. This just ensures that nothing is gonna stick. And there you go. The second side is not going to take as long as the first side, and I'm going to let you see how long it's going to take right here. You can see how it's starting to bubble up.
Remember that soda?
Bubble up? Yeah, I remember that soda. It's like poor man 7-Up, if I remember correctly. Like I said, if you get your rhythm going right, you can see these big ones, these big bubbles. You can check the other side. That for me is perfect. These over here are maybe a little bit overdone, but they'll still work just the same.
Yeah. Because you were busy making tortillas.
That's right, I was. So, and if you don't want them to dry out, you can put a damp towel over these, and they'll be just fine. They'll stay nice and warm. These will retain their heat. See, like this was the first one. You can see it's still pretty hot. There you go. This one can come off. Just like that. You can move that around. You can press it down. This is how you know you did it right. If you didn't mix it or over mix it, you're going to get these bubbles. And those are the pockets of air that were created by creaming in or blending the shortening into the flour. Don't tell. I use lard. Molly doesn't know. Okay? All right. This is done. And then we can turn off our griddle. We can come over here. And our tortillas are finished. That took me about 15 minutes. So really, a little bit of ingredients, a little bit of flour, a little bit of shortening or lard or whatever fat. No butter though, okay? Mix that in. You can do it all by hand. You don't have to use the mixer like I did. I just used that to save a little time because I want to get dinner on the table. So that's how you make tortillas.
And personally, I think the brownness gives it better, good flavor.
Oh, it does. We're going to go and make burritos with these. So I hope that you have no excuse now not to make tortillas on your own. You don't have to have a fancy electric griddle like I had. You can make these in a frying pan. You can do them in a cast iron skillet. It doesn't matter, okay? Just make them. I hope you try it. I hope you love it. And until next time, I'll see ya.